Today, from Lucas Oil Stadium in Indianapolis, it's Week 13 of the NFL on EA Sports.
EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. Today, we've got a Week 13 matchup for you here between the Baltimore Ravens and the Indianapolis Colts. From the 6. The lane opens here. He's past the 30. And good starting field position. He'll get this one all the way up to about the 35-yard line. The number 8, Lamar Jackson, trotting onto the field at quarterback, ready to lead this Ravens offense.
And he's had such a sensational season to this point, leading the NFL in passing yards. He's been helped out a lot by an outstanding set of receivers, and he's quick to give them credit. But I think even they would tell you that he's the guy that makes this offense go.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. They go play action with Jackson. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he'll be stopped right at midfield. Now it appears we've got an injured Raven down there on the field. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back. From midfield now, here's Jackson. He'll let this go for the end zone. That is caught. It's Bateman for a Raven touchdown. Rashad Bateman, his 19th touchdown now on the season. And the Ravens on just 2 plays have taken the lead.
If you didn't know it, it won't surprise you to find out that this team leads the league in scoring. They've been a quick strike team all season long. There's another example. They did it again. This offensive coordinator, right now, you can write his ticket towards being a head coach. He's advanced in the ways of offense.
Justin Tucker for the extra point. And the Ravens lead at 7-0. Pretty clean and simple there. Just 2 plays. The long pass resulting in the touchdown on play number 2. Kick it away after the touchdown. Fielded just outside the goal line. And he's going to be out of bounds here as the run back will leave him shy of the 20-yard line. So the Colts now coming out for their opening drive. They will be led out by a second-round pick in 2019. Out of Missouri, it's Drew Lock.
And I'll bet he's talking to his guys about resisting the temptation to try and turn this into an up-and-down game, almost like basketball, where both teams press, and one team gets an advantage, the other team's trying to run with them, and they're just not equipped for it. Doesn't matter whether you're equipped or not. Just settle in, get calm before you go with the big strikes.
And he'll take this up only to about his 18-yard line. These are his numbers from last week's contest. 19 carries, 73 yards.
And they love what they've got in him. He's the number 4 rusher in the league right now, so you know that you have to account for him on defense, which means you can play complementary football as well. Throw the play action, get it out to the wide receivers, because they should have some open space, because the defense will key on it.
On 2nd and 9. And the Raven pressure too much. Down he goes. And Oliver in there for the sack, and he's closing in on the all-time record. That's number 19 on the year.
I spent a lot of extra time preparing for this game, watching this offensive line, because they gave up 5 sacks last week in their loss. They just gave up another one now. They don't seem to be working together as a cohesive unit. Right? 4 guys might have it right, but the 5th guy is giving something up. They've got to find a way to all get on the same page.
And with a 3rd and 13 here, the defense in a dime look. From the gun, it's Locke. And he will not be able to hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. The coverage strong, and now it's 4th down.
That's what you're going to need to do against those big receivers. You got to get in there and get physical with them. That time he got in close, got in tight, and knocked the ball away.
On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. A chance for Waddle on the return. A nice return there of 11 to help mitigate a good punt. And this offense will take over right at the midfield stripe with a 1st and 10. Baltimore set to take over here for their 2nd possession of the game. And it's only November, but the playoffs, we know how it works. They'll be here before you know it. If it ended today, they would be the number 1 seed.
And that's a great spot to be in, but I love the phrase, if it ended today. And I guarantee you, that's what they've discussed in their locker room, in their meeting rooms. Yeah, we know where we'd be if it ended today, but we also know it's not ending today.
Right.
So they've got to continue to play the type of ball that put them in the spot where they're number 1 in their conference.
7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 3.
The CD, this offense at 11-0 now on the year. A few weeks ago, I remember asking you what kind of percentage chance that you thought they had at staying unbeaten the entire season. I think you said 25%. I'd imagine that number probably grown since then.
I would agree with you, and I'm going to actually bump it up to closer to 50%. Only because they still have some tough games to come, and keeping that focus throughout the entire season, that's been a really difficult thing to pull off. But so far, they've done it, and they've done it well.
So 3rd and 2, this quite possibly 4-down territory, though, if they're stopped. And he's able to get the 1st before he's taken down at the 36. He was well over 100 yards last week. He told us this week, a little ambitious, that he wants to hit that 200 mark. We'll see.
Makes sense, though, doesn't it? Have we ever run into a running back that had a great game the week before that didn't think that's just going to naturally continue? Just make sure you feed me the football. And that's what they're all about. Continuity, rhythm, number of carries. Just keep giving it to them.
A big play that time through the air. 31 yards.
When they've needed a play this year, he's certainly been the guy to deliver it. As this season has gone on, he's been awfully consistent and sometimes spectacular.
They'll run here with Edwards. And he will take it in for a Ravens touchdown.
Gus Edwards,
His first touchdown on the year.
and the Ravens are off to a 13-0 first quarter lead. So, CD, there didn't seem to be much resistance there down near the goal line.
Yeah, partner, from what I saw there, not a real good job of matching up defensively, because to me, they look like they were just in their base 3-4 package. You need bigger bodies in there in a goal line type situation. The 3-4, 5 between the 20s, but not down here when you're guarding your end zone.
Tucker able to connect on the extra point, and that'll make the score 14-0. Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown.
Fielded just outside the goal line. And he will make it back to the 15, and that's it. Good coverage there by the kick team.
For most people, the excitement of the kickoff return is to see a long one that goes back in the opposite direction. But for the guys covering it, it's being able to stop them deep in their own territory. How about that incredible form tackle right there? Shoulder into ball carrier, and down he goes.
Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's 1st and 10. They'll run with Taylor to begin the drive. A gain of 3, 2nd down. Well, this defense for the Ravens, they were terrific in the win over Tennessee a week ago.
And I'm eager to see the game plan and try to attack them this week, because when you take it away 4 times through interceptions, what do you do now when you go into a game? Do you decide you can't throw the ball? Do you try and run it more? Or do you tell your quarterback, make sure you see your guys open before you deliver?
2nd down, another run with Taylor. And they see right through that defensively as he'll be hit and taken down to the backfield. It'll go down as a 2-yard loss, and it brings up a 3rd down.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
And on 3rd and 8, defensively, they're going to beef up the secondary. 6 defensive backs. Here's Locke to throw. Into a sea of defenders have intercepted. Picked up by Patrick Queen. Then he will bring it back to about the 11-yard line. So problems with errant passing continuing. Remember, he threw 2 picks in the loss last week, and now another here in this first quarter.
And sometimes, partner, this is the result of a quarterback who's simply trying to do too much. Feels like he's trying to make up for what he did last week, and you can't do it all on one throw.
Coming out with a jumbo package to start the drive. Jackson on the give to Dobbins. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a... They come out with 1 back and 3 tight ends. Now Dobbins again on 2nd down. And they'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown. J.K. Dobbins taking it in from 2 yards out. And the Ravens are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. But just power football there down near the goal line. Give it to him. He's able to push his way across.
Yeah, they went heavy there. Sometimes you have those big offensive linemen come in, have to report like they're eligible. But all they're doing is getting a good stance, blocking, and getting their runner across the goal line.
Tucker now for the extra point. It's good, and before you know it, it's 21-0. They had the short field, and they made quick work of it. Just 2 plays to get into the end zone. So how about this for a start? 21-0 here in the first as they kick this one away. Taken in at the 3. And he'll be out of bounds here just past the 20-yard line. And now Indianapolis set to take the field. And they're in an early hole. The first drive, they threw the interception. That led to a touchdown, so decent-sized deficit early on.
It is, but I think you hit the key words, early on. So they have to decide, do we even need to change game plan, or do we just need to execute better and try and get back in this game?
And the window closes quickly. He'll only get up to the 22-yard line. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. They give to Taylor out of the gun. It's a 4-yard pickup there, and it leaves him with 3rd and 5. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well, but when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
And he will be very close to a first down, but I see the closed fist of the referee, and that means 4th down.
4th and short, partner. I mean, this would be a really risky call. Here we are in the first quarter.
On your own side of the field.
Own side of the field. But, boy, what a tone setter that would be to go for it and get it, wouldn't it?
You're gritty today. I like it.
I'm feeling it.
The punt team on now as this one's sent away. Waddle now to return it. Oh, a nifty juke there.
Not much fun for a guy trying to tackle it.
21-0 our score after 1. They go play action now. Jackson. Man open, that's Henry Ruggs. And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. Henry Ruggs, his 21st touchdown of the season. And the Ravens are able to add on to their first half lead. Well, you talk about a team coming into an opposing stadium and just taking the life right out of a crowd. That's what we're witnessing here. 27-0 Charles.
And this defense, they just look completely unprepared for what's been thrown at them. And you know they're supposed to adjust series to series. That has not happened for them. So I don't think halftime adjustments are going to help a heck of a lot. They are in major trouble unless they figure out something really fast.
Tucker with the extra point, and a rout is on here in this first half. Well, the offense wasn't out there for a long time, but they were out there for a good time. One play, and they're able to hit pay dirt. Kicking away after the touchdown. Taken in at the 3. And his guys will get the football right at the 20-yard line. We see Drew Lock and the offense coming back on. In second quarter, they're down big already. He's struggling as well. They've got to find something here. He's got to find something on this drive.
And sometimes you take on all that extra pressure on yourself, and maybe you have to disperse it a little bit. Lean on some other people, lean on your teammates, find someone who can take the pressure off and get the ball in their hands for a while.
Well, if he does it, this is getting out of hand, or it could get worse.
When you're struggling on offense, you're looking for anything possible to get you going. Sometimes you do it like basketball teams that don't normally press. You put a press on, bring people to life, make them move a little bit quicker. Maybe that'll help them as they head towards the half.
2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
We think, Brandon, I like the intensity this defense is showing right here in these first few drives. They're not just holding the line because they're doing their job, but they're doing more than that, aren't they? They're getting a nice push into the offensive backfield.
And a great example right there for the loss on the tackle. Second down, another run with Taylor. Not much room to run. Just gets it to the 35 after showcasing his tough running. It's a gain of maybe 3, but it's going to leave him with still about 8 or 9 to go on third down. On the draw is Taylor. And this is going to be a Colts first down as good running gets him to about the 44.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. because remember the last drive they went 3 and out.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. A give for Taylor running right side. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
This defense has really flown around in the first half. They've gotten to the ball carrier before they can really get started. Offense got to come up with something else in order to try and get this running game going.
Looking at a 2nd and 11 now after the loss. On the handoff, Taylor. And he'll take this one across the 45 up to about the 46-yard line. Give him 3 yards on the run there. That still leaves him with a difficult 3rd and 8 coming up.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
2 yards is all they'll get on the completion. It's 4th down.
Well, the coverage was tight that time. They allowed the pass underneath to him, but they rallied to him pretty fast, too. Converged on him and got him down. That'll bring up 4th down.
Here's A.J. Cole now as he's on to punt for Indianapolis. This is away, but boy, headed straight for the sidelines. And this will do the job nicely as that'll be out of bounds just inside the 10-yard line.
Let's go old school there. That's absolutely a great coffin corner punt. Someone's put some time in working on that, hasn't it?
Seems like every year these guys get better and better. It's amazing how they can command that football through the air.
Yeah, they used to actually practice with hula hoops where they place them and try and put them there. Now a lot of guys use barrels on the sidelines to try and put the football in one.
They'll start on the ground with Dobbins. And he'll be about a full yard shy of the 20 at the 19-yard line. That one good for 10 yards. And it'll be 2nd and very short.
On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before, they always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
It's caught inside the 25.
Come on, bring it, baby, bring it.
All the way in for a Ravens touchdown. Rashad Bateman with touchdown number 20 on the year. And the Ravens open the lead up to 34-0. So this now 34-0 with the extra point pending. And Charles, I thought these guys might have the advantage coming in, but I didn't expect this.
Well, I'm glad we're going with full transparency here because I didn't either. I thought we might be looking at a 24-20 type game, maybe 13-10 at the half. But this has been total, utter domination.
Tucker able to connect on the extra point, and that makes this 35-0 now. The long touchdown pass gets him 6 on a very, very tidy 2-play drive that time. Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. Taken in at the 3. And he will make it to the 20-yard line and no further. Colts football and Michael Pittman, helmet back on and ready to go. Hasn't had his best day to this point here in the second quarter. They're losing. You got to think, though, that also means that maybe the defense doing a good job on him. There's two sides to that coin.
I would agree, so you have to give them credit, but that means you've got to find a way to beat that defense and make sure one of your top playmakers touches the football and has an impact on the game. Change formations, change where he lines up, put him in motion, anything possible to shake him free.
Maybe that greater impact comes here on this drive.
A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
Oh, that'll be incomplete. Well, he took a shot as he let that go. And it's going to bring up a third down.
They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on 2nd down. Locke going to throw. And they work this well upfield across the 45. Now they got to get to the line quickly. Locke now on 1st down. Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone. Fair to say, hasn't been his best game throwing the football, but also not getting a lot of help out there either.
Yeah, you nailed it pretty well, you know. He's got to throw it better, got to get more help. Obviously one that should have been caught. They got to find a way to bring those two elements together so they can make some progress in this one.
Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. Shotgun snap to Locke. Out of his hands quickly to Pittman. And he's going to be taken down with the 1st down at the Ravens 39.
And that's a more than acceptable read right there because it's zone coverage, so timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a 1st down.
And his throw here is incomplete.
They've given up a few 1st downs on this drive, but getting the incompletion there, that should give them something to build on and maybe turn the tide.
Here's 2nd and 10.
I got you, boy. I got you, boy. Check back, man. We got it.
Again, it's Locke. Over the middle into traffic, and that's complete. The Colts going to use the 1st of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. Here's the 7th play of this drive. This is 3rd and 4.
Hey, check back, back 6, back 6. Let's support it out.
Throwing now is Locke. And he hits him in stride. Now the Colts going to burn the 2nd of their timeouts as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this 1st half. Throwing on 1st down is Locke. Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete.
It certainly didn't appear that that's where he wanted to go with the ball initially, so he tried to get something out of it by dumping it off to his running back unsuccessfully.
Locke again here on 2nd and 10. Nowhere to turn this time, and he goes down. Sacked back at the 29. It'll go as a loss of about 6, and now it brings up 3rd. The Ravens going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as the clock shows 50 seconds to play here in half number 1. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
They went with the dive look that time on defense, just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
And now the Colts call on their field goal unit here. This one from 46 yards out. The kick by Elliott is good. And they'll be in 3, but this remains a large deficit. And maybe a moral victory of sorts. They're on the board here late in the 1st half, but this offense just hasn't looked that sharp.
Yeah, but at least they got the 3 points, right? At least have something to, quote-unquote, hang their hats on and maybe feel a little bit better about themselves as they head to the half.
Waddle is going to elect to not bring this out, and instead his guys will begin at the 25-yard line.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive.
And with a huge lead already, they may be thinking, hey, our job's complete for these first 2 quarters. Let's get this to the locker room.
And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line.
Now, that was an excellent run. And when you see that happen, that's when you're seeing guys doing their job and then some people doing a little bit more. Offensive linemen and tight ends, they're expected to block. But the wide receivers, all they want to do is catch passes. So when they block on a big-time running play and create extra space, you've kind of hit the jackpot there.
Ravens going to use their third and final timeout as they stop it with 11 seconds remaining in this first half. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down.
Check 27. Eyes on 27. Let's go, D. Let's go.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. He'll let this go deep for Ruggs. And that is caught at the 10-yard line. And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. Henry Ruggs in the final seconds of the first half. And the Ravens would extend their lead here just before halftime.
And that's a lead that excites a team as they head into the half. Good way to finish things off.
Yeah, able to extend that lead, and you always say it, that can totally change the complexion of half number 2.
Yeah, it changes your morale, changes your outlook. But even before that, let's see if they decide to kind of squib kick or what they're going to do on the kickoff, because you don't want to give up a big play right before the half ends.
Good point. So time enough for a kickoff here. 5 seconds remaining in this first half. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped it to 23. The final second ticks by, and that's going to do it for the first half of play. So we have reached halftime here with the visiting Ravens out in front. You want the third quarter already? No problem. Let's do it. The Colts getting the football first, and they trail here as we are back underway in quarter number 3. Fielded just outside the goal line. He will be brought down here inside the 20. Good coverage as he's dropped at the 17. The Indy offense at the line and set to go. And they have a mountainous deficit looming in front of them. It was really, Charles, a disaster of a first half. So where do they go from here?
Well, first thing they have to remember is that what's done is done, and there's no going back. And now you have to play this drive by drive. Obviously, come back in this spot, pretty unlikely. But you still have to go out, take pride in your work, and try and put something together here in the second half.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. They run once more with Taylor. And he will fight his way forward to about the 23-yard line. 2 yards a gain there, and now they're left with a 3rd and about 4 for first. But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
From the gun on 3rd down, Locke. And he takes us up to the 40-yard line before being corralled.
Well, maybe this offense has learned something from watching their counterparts work. I wonder if their coaching staff said, let's do what they've been doing the entire game, because that's worked well. This offense, they have not looked particularly good all game long. But a nice throw there for a good gain and a first down.
And he'll take this ahead for about 4. Second down coming up.
At the end of all that hitting and hollering, it was a 4-yard run, so the offense is going to go back down and feel pretty good about themselves. Defensively, you have to feel okay because you didn't let it turn into a bigger run, but the goal, shut it down for 2 yards or less. That's when you start to feel good about yourselves.
From the 44, Locke. This will be swung out wide for Taylor. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds.
That look from you there, partner. I think we're on the same page on that one. Just his first catch. I think we both thought he'd be a little more active in the passing game. Let's see if that's the start of them trying to get the ball to him a little bit more here in the second half.
Locke now on first down. Sideline throw, it's complete. And a nice job there of keeping the toes inbounds.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
5 yards remain on second down. Here's Locke. Looking right sideline, but it's incomplete. The passing windows are just not there. That's just another example of how great this defense has been all game long.
And that's exactly what a top 10 defense can do. They can really change the game tempo and frustrate you as you try to execute offensively.
Again, they'll throw with Locke. He finds his man, complete. It's Alexander. And he is going to have a Colts first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. I don't know what they talked about at halftime. Whatever it was, it worked. They look like a different team here in the third quarter.
Yeah, I doubt that there were very many trash cans that got kicked over, that type of a speech. I think what they did was they analyzed what worked in the first half, what didn't, and figured out a better game plan.
First and 10, Taylor now. And he'll be dropped at the 23 after a pickup of about 4.
I feel like I could see what he was thinking on that carry. Wanted to follow that big tackle through the hole. Ended up only getting 4 yards on the carry. I think he had designs on that one being bigger.
Second down, another run with Taylor. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. Still about 3 yards shy of a first as the 4-yard pickup brings it to third down.
But that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short gain.
Hey, check back, Mike 6.
Now Locke on the bootleg. Rush coming, and he's taken down. And Oliver, it's his 20th sack of the season as he continues what could be a record-setting campaign. So out comes a field goal team now for the second time here today. He made his first attempt, this from 45. The kick by Elliott is good. And they'll get back 3, but this remains a large deficit. I'm kind of surprised by that they kicked the field goal. I guess you get some points, but this deficit third quarter, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't either. Yeah, I'm with you on that one. When you're down that much, kicking a field goal, does it feel a little bit maybe waving the white flag? You just want to get out of here? Yeah, I think you got to go ahead and try and get some bigger points on the board.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And last time out, another touchdown. I think there may be some empty seats around here by the time the fourth quarter comes around.
Yeah, I have to agree with you because this was just about decided. But you know who benefits from all those empty seats? You and me, trying to get to the...
And he is into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown. J.K. Dobbins, his second touchdown of the afternoon. And the Ravens have taken a 6-touchdown lead. This offense, they were dynamic in the first half. The halftime break, that didn't slow them down at all. Big strike here in the third quarter.
It's almost as if they were saying, it's not just our skill in the first half that's getting this done, it's confidence as well. And confidence has taken over this game in a big way. How about these strikes that we're seeing?
Tucker with the extra point, and that will extend this big lead.
Staley now to kick it away after the touchdown.
Taken in at the 3. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. They've got to dig down deep. I mean, they need something right now, really anything to cling on to. This offense has struggled.
Partner, join me in a walk to their locker room at the half, okay? Because I think what we would have seen is an offensive coordinator and his assistant coaches getting together with all their positions, then coming together as a group, going over adjustments, and then the head coach coming in and just screaming, wake up.
Yeah.
Let's get moving, guys.
I'm kind of glad we weren't in there at halftime, actually.
I mean, you think
Now look, he lost the football. It's out, and it's picked up by the Ravens. And this is going to be brought back for a Baltimore touchdown. We know this defense has some playmakers. We saw it right there. Well, really, we've seen it the whole game.
Isn't it nice to see that on the opposite side of the ball? Respect, my man, respect. The defensive guys are outscoring their opposing offense.
Yeah, they're outscoring him indeed with that score alone. Tucker able to connect on the extra point, and the lead will swell by one more. And you can bet they're preaching two hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. Fielded just outside the goal line. And not much happening on the return as he'll get this to about the 23. The Indy offense at the line and set to go. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you go?
I think that now it's much more in their head. And what I mean by that is just what you said. You've gone over the changes. I bet they were pretty clinical at the half, not too emotional. They might need to go to the emotional side because you've got to find something, some spark somewhere. And so far, just being calm hasn't exactly worked.
They need any spark at this point. And up to the 35 before they're able to knock him down.
There's a nice pickup right there. And after watching that play, I'm thinking about all the lost opportunities that they've had so far in this game. But right now, just focus on continuing to move the ball the way they did on the last play.
And this defense not giving him anything there. Maybe a yard up to the 36. And that is going to do it for this third quarter of action. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. On 2nd and 9, Lock. And he goes down. The Ravens able to get to him. Justin Matabike in there to get him, and that is now sack number 18 on the season for it. And you could say that is just another cherry on top for this defense and that entire team. But really, this defense has sparked what's been an impressive effort here in this one.
And I noticed you used the word sparked because you're not seeing that on the other side of the ball, are you? The offense right now, the spark has left their game, and it's been because of what you described, that defensive pressure.
Here's A.J. Cole now as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. Fair catch signaled for and taken just shy of the 30-yard line. A 41-yard punt there with no return. And the Ravens, they'll take over. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. We find ourselves here in the midst of a one-sided affair. A lot of fill time down the stretch, Mr. Davis.
So we could talk about food because that is something that you and I enjoy.
We share that.
We enjoy our time at the table. So maybe the best steakhouses in the city, but in all seriousness, the performances that we've seen this year, we've seen a bunch of great ones, and it's going to be hard to parse who's going to win the MVP.
Yeah, it really is.
Is it going to be a runner? Is it going to be a thrower? Can a defender finally win it this season? Those are the things that we could probably discuss.
And collectively, this is about as dominant of a performance as you could have hoped for on both sides of the football.
Might have to put it number one for what we've seen this season.
Now Jackson on first down. That ball caught. It's Mark Andrews, the tight end. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30.
Tell you what, partner, the way he's been slinging it in this one, I think he should be ticketed for a baseball cap and a set of headphones for the next drive. He's been absolutely sensational. But one thing we've both learned about quarterbacks in this league, they often stay on the field longer than you expect.
Give the tackle that time to Jordan Whitehead.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where there'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
And finally, down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. And looking to put this game on ice in the fourth quarter, but still not afraid to throw it as they show there.
You want to play the game with confidence, and they have a guy who's in control right now. Their trigger guy, throwing it, they feel just as confident with him doing that as they would if they tried to run the ball and run the clock out.
They'll run here with Dillon. That gets them 3 yards closer here as it brings up 2nd and goal. And now it looks like they're going to be in the hurry up. Dillon again. Able to get a couple here, but won't get across the plane as they stop him right around the 1.
His path became similar to almost running a stretch play, didn't it? Trying to find a crease, anywhere to put his foot in the ground and cut back. It just never materialized.
Edwards will score. Touchdown, Baltimore. So it was the passing game that got him down here, but closer to the goal line, it's the running game that gets him home.
Certainly appears that they lulled the defense into thinking that the passing game was going to be it the entire drive. Nice change up there going to the running game to get him over the goal line.
Now Tucker to add the PAT. Now this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. Fielded just outside the goal line. And he's going to be out of bounds here as the run back will leave him shy of the 20-yard line. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. And they unfortunately are staring at a mini losing streak developing, trailing here in the fourth quarter. This would be their 3rd straight defeat. The drive starts with a completion left side. And he gets it here to right around the 24 before he's out of bounds. A gain of 6 there on first. Well, that's always a good place to throw it just because he's one of the biggest targets not only on this team but in the National Football League.
And you and I both know the quarterbacks love these large-bodied tight ends, and why not? Nowadays, they're really wide receivers who are just tougher.
And they're waving pressure too much. Down he goes. Adave Owe in there yet again. What else is new? He continues to rewrite the record book in single-season sacks. So the Colts in possession of the football as we get you reset. They face a third down now as they try to find a late score. Clock now to throw. And that will be incomplete.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
So they're forced to punt on fourth as this one's away. And he'll take it on this side of midfield. Shifts by him. Great blocking on the return. It springs him for 25. And the Ravens set up well to begin their drive as it'll begin in enemy territory already. Jackson's going to throw it. That's complete to his receiver, Bateman. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly.
Well, business as usual for them. Well on their way to another victory. Riding a serious wave of momentum from what we've seen. And so far, they haven't met their match. So if you're going to play this team in the future, your mission is clear. You better be ready to play and match their firepower.
Tucker now to add the point after. Now this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. Fielded just outside the goal line. And good coverage there on special teams as they'll get him down shy of the 20. The Indy offense at the line and set to go. Let's just be frank. They're playing for pride at this point.
that's all that's left because Victor
always hit. He lost the football. Put it on the carpet. And the defense not able to get it. From a defensive perspective, what's that moment like when you realize the ball is loose?
It is a moment where all concentration goes right to the football. This is something you've talked about in all your preparation for the game. You probably talked about this training camp. Knock the ball free, take it away from the other team, and now you have that chance. There's a little bit of deflation when they end up recovering it.
They knocked it free, but couldn't take it away. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. They look to throw. It's Locke. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45. They'll contain him to just 4. Second down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. You're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it. Brandon, you know this is going to be discussed because this is the fear of all the backs when they run this type of a route. They've got to find the football, and sometimes they don't see the defender. And in this case, he took a pretty good shot for his efforts, but give him credit, able to hold on to the football.
Well, had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going. Here's A.J. Cole now as they're forced to kick for the 6th time today. Fair catch called for and taken just inside the 10-yard line. It'll be 37 yards there on the punt, and the Ravens will get it. 1st and 10 from deep in their own territory. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And they just continue to roll right along, really. This has the looks of yet another victory as they hope to polish it off here in quarter number 4. And he'll go out near midfield at the 49. 145 yards rushing now for the NFL leader coming into this ball game. Thought they were going to have him down a lot earlier, but he was able to shed that tackle.
Shows the value of the weight room, doesn't it? Shows the value of the attitude when you run the football. Don't go down easily. Break a few tackles, gain some additional yardage.
And despite the late lead, Jackson to throw. That's complete to the fullback, Ricard. And he is out of bounds inside the 35.
Partner, I have to tell you, just one word keeps coming to mind from watching them this afternoon, and that's impressive. They have been impressive from the opening kickoff, and they haven't let up here even into the fourth quarter.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Jackson now. There goes a deep ball, end zone. And give him another 6. It's caught for a touchdown, and the blowout continues. And for them, this train, it just keeps rolling, doesn't it? Well on their way to yet another victory.
Yeah, it's almost a runaway, isn't it? And you just wonder how anyone could stop this. They got full momentum going, full confidence going. But it's not just their own confidence that's leading them. It's the lack of confidence against their opponents now, because they see them coming and think, we've got no shot to beat this team.
Tucker with the extra point, and that will extend this big lead. Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. From a yard or two deep, here comes a return. And not a very good return at all, as he won't even get this back to the 15.
In this position, trying to get back into the game, teams are looking for a spark from their special teams. That's not what they got, though. They got a setback, and they have a long field to cover if they want to try and put points on the board.
On 1st and 10, here's Locke. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And that will be incomplete, as time has run out on this football game.